Hi, I'm Dave. I'm here with Playthrough Board Games, and I wanted to take us through a glimpse into Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer is a press your luck dice game from Indie Boards and Cards. Let's take a look at the mechanics of the game and the components, and also discuss whom this game would appeal to. In Dragon Slayer, you are a party of Dragon Slayers, represented by the white dice here, who go around trying to slay the most dragons. You are not the only group of Dragon Slayers, however. There are other groups, and these other groups are also trying to slay as many dragons as possible in order to win the most renown and prove themselves to be the champion Dragon Slayers. There are 3 dragons in the game: the blue dragon, which is the easiest to defeat, the green dragon, which is slightly harder, and the red dragon, which is the hardest. Let's take a look at these individual sets of dice here and see why the various dragons are different in terms of difficulty to defeat. Each set of dragon dice has 3 icons that represent the head, tail, and wings of the dragon. For example, on the blue dragon dice, here is the wing icon, here is the head icon, and here is the tail icon. In addition, dice may have other icons on them. For example, the blue dragon dice have the mountain icon, which means you have to keep searching in order to hunt down the dragon. And that is all the blue dragon dice have on them, which is why they are the easiest of the dragons to defeat. The green dragon dice up the ante by removing one of the mountain symbols and adding in a breath attack symbol that looks like this. If a breath attack is rolled, the player must also have rolled a shield in order to prevent losing one of the party dice. The green dragon also has a mountain symbol, so there is that slight reprieve where the green dragon might force you to keep searching for it. The red dragon dice eliminate the mountain symbols entirely in favor of 2 breath attack symbols. So the red dragon is the most dangerous of the 3 dragons, simply because of that fact that you may be attacked more frequently by the red dragon, and there's really no break in the action. So that is why the dragons vary in difficulty. We've seen what the dragons can do. Let's take a look at the party dice. One side of the party dice is the shield. The shield here can prevent 1 damage from a breath attack. On the party die there is a breath attack, so if your hero unwittingly stumbles upon a dragon, he or she is attacked and can defend with the shield. The third side of the die that comes up here is the axe. So there are a number of axe symbols, 3 of them on the party die here. The axe can be used in slaying a dragon. To begin a player's turn, the player must select which of the 3 dragons he or she wishes to face off against, and then roll both the dice for that dragon and the dice for the hero. Let's take a look at a few turns in action and see what happens. Our first player here decides to face off against the red dragon to see if he can't get the worst out of the way at the beginning of the game. In order to do this, you roll the 3 dice representing your hero and the 3 dice representing the dragon. In this case, we have an interesting outcome. The wing and the tail represent clues to the dragon's whereabouts and are set off to the side here. The 3 axes that I've rolled are set off to the side, and I have rolled 1 breath attack. The breath attack defeats one of my heroes since I did not roll a shield. Now, my remaining 2 heroes here have to square off against the dragon again in order to see if we succeed in defeating the dragon. Things have not gone well. We rolled another 2 breath attacks, which eliminates two of my heroes because I rolled no shields. So in this case, facing off against the red dragon was not a successful endeavor. Let's see if player 2 has more luck. Having seen what happens firsthand with the red dragon, player 2 is going to take the opposite tactic and start with the easy dragon, the blue dragon. In this case, we have found two clues to the whereabouts of the blue dragon: the wings symbol and the head symbol. Finally, we have found a mountain, which indicates that where we searched was not a good place to be looking for the dragon, and we must continue to search. On our party dice, we've rolled a shield, which is good because we also rolled a breath attack and an axe. The axe could have been useful in slaying the dragon had we encountered the actual beast itself. Seeing as we only have 2 of the 3 required dice here, we did not encounter the dragon and must continue to explore. Now we have found the tail and have successfully hunted the dragon. Because I have rolled an axe, I may slay the blue dragon and reap the reward. So the reward in this case is 2 points. So far, player 2 has 2 points and may consider whether he or she wants to face off against another dragon. Before player 2 could face the blue dragon variety again, he or she must face off against the green and red dragons. The green dragon looks like a likely target, especially given how difficult it was for player 1 to defeat the red dragon. So player 2 decides to continue hunting and rolls against the green dragon. So far, we've had 2 successful die rolls here. The dragon tail and wings for the green dragon represent 2 clues as to the dragon's whereabouts. The breath here on the green dragon die has come up. Fortunately, we have rolled a shield to counteract that attack, thus saving one of our party from being destroyed by the dragon's breath attack. I always like to imagine the green dragon as some sort of acid-spewing dragon, but that's just me. So we've been spared a corrosive fate. Since this die face was an attack, however, we must re-roll the party dice and the attack. In this case, I have found the head clue, so I do know the whereabouts of the dragon. However, my discovery has come at a price here. I rolled 2 axe symbols and 1 breath symbol. The breath symbol means that I must take one of my dice as a casualty here. So I have removed one of the hero dice, leaving me with only 2. However, I have also defeated the green dragon. At this point, player 2 decides that he wants to stop. However, player 1 is miffed about getting no points and wants to get in on the action here. In order to do so, player 1 may play a challenge token. Seeing as we only have 2 players, the order in which challenge tokens can be played doesn't really come into effect here. However, with 3 to 5 players, this would matter a little more, and the first opportunity to play a challenge token would go to the opposite of turn order. So the last player would have the option to play a challenge token first, and so on. As I said, this does not matter in this instance, however, so player 1 has challenged player 2 to continue exploring. At this point, player 2 has 2 options. Player 2 may continue to explore and hunt for the dragon, or may simply take half of the points to which he or she is otherwise entitled. In this case, 6 points halved would be 3 points, and player 1 would reap the benefits of 5 points here for having challenged,
and having had player 2 back out. So, not wanting to lose to player 1 in terms of score this early on, player 2 decides it might be worth the risk to try and take on the red dragon. Player 2 was quite wrong in this regard and pushed their luck a little too far. So we rolled 3 breath symbols. The red dragon was very victorious in this regard, and neither person has played any points. The only consequential thing that happened is player 1 has expended the token and scored 5 points during this round. So it's now 5 points for player 1 to player 2's 0 points. Play would then proceed back to player 1, who would again have the option to challenge various dragons. At the end of the game, once one player has reached 40 points, that player is declared the Master Slayer. I'm going to give you my reactions to the game now, and what I thought about the overall experience. Alright, let's discuss my reactions to the game in a little more detail. I did enjoy the game. I think the components are all of a high quality. The dice have the symbols etched in them, so when rolling the dice repeatedly, I'm not as worried that the faces will wear off and leave me wondering what used to be on them. The black on the dice gives a high contrast with the symbols on them, so again, easy to read, easy to roll, easy to use, no real complaints there. I did like the addition of these challenge tokens. Aside from the artwork being nice looking, I think they add an element of interactivity to the game that can be lacking in this style of a game. Sometimes, if you're just rolling dice and waiting for your turn to come around again, there's not so much attention to what other players are or aren't doing on their turns. You just have to hope that your score is higher than theirs. With a challenge token, you have some strategic element to the game where you have to think, hey, maybe I should play this and try and cash in and get 5 points, or make that player lose half their points, or whatever. There's a little bit of thought that goes into that, which I do enjoy. I think overall, if your game group is really into strategic games, this game may not be for you, but if you're looking for something quick in between rounds of some more in-depth games, or if you just want to pick up a casual game that you can do with friends that maybe aren't hardcore gamers, then this might be worth a look. I had fun with it, so I hope you will check out Dragon Slayer, and thank you for watching. Hi, this is Dave again. I just wanted to give you a little coda to my Dragon Slayer overview here. If you enjoyed the theme of Dragon Slayer, we do have a few other videos up with similar themes. They're not by the same company, Indie Boards and Cards, but there are a couple other dragon-themed games that we've taken a look at. One is Havoc and Hijinks, and another is Draco Magi. So if you're looking for a riff on the same theme of dragons, you might want to check those 2 videos out, and thanks for watching.